Hey guys, it's Failing Forward Forex here, and I'm coming at you with the Sunday market analysis. And we're going to be going over a few of the same pairs from the week before: gold, US30, and we're going to be going over euro. We're just going to keep it short and sweet with those three simple pairs and see how they kind of reacted from last week's versus how they're going to react and how I think they're going to continue to act going into this next week of the 6th, so 7th through 11th. Um, Technically, markets are open on right now on the 6th, but I usually don't trade until Monday, at the very earliest Monday, just because you never really seem to get any really good setups on Sundays, and also Fridays can really be a trap day, so I try to avoid trading on Fridays, but sometimes it happens. So let's just go over what I thought happened last week and see if it lines up to what I think is going to happen this week. Alright, so the prediction I had on gold was that it was going to come down and touch this level right here, which we see that it did do in the past week, and that it would start to go bullish from there all the way to 1730. And what I'm thinking still is that it is bullish until 1730. I still agree with that same call. One of the main reasons why is because it did reject from this area. It did break previous highs, and it tested these highs back over here. So I think that we could see a pullback. How big of a pullback? I'm not too sure. Let me do a fib on here just to kind of get an idea. Yeah, potentially to like 1657 on gold, or maybe a little bit lower at around 1650, but anywhere in that range, and we could see a pullback and just like from there take off, try to test the previous highs all the way over here near 1720 or 1706, so anywhere between 1710 and 1720 is definitely one of my profit targets for this week for gold. And yeah, so basically this week all I'm looking for is pullbacks, and then from those pullbacks we go straight up. So any price point, like I said, at 1660 even, and put all my stops below the previous low. So the previous low would be 1643. So I'd put my stops at somewhere between 1642 and 1640 flat. And right at those points, it's kind of a big stop, but you're also going for a massive trade. Over 700 pips is what you're looking for on gold. Let's go over the US30 now, see what happened here. As you see, there's lots of lines, lots of fibs. Let's kind of clear up this chart a little bit and see what happened. Now, I believe my prediction on this was actually that it would continue to rise before it fell. And then I said if it fell, you would take buys on it and kind of try to take it all the way up. But as we can see here, now I had a lot of lines. I actually ended up losing money on this pair because NFP went absolutely wild. This is an NFP right here, and this just took me for so much money. And what happened was I shorted. I shorted here, and I actually got stopped out going long, or stopped out going short. And then I was like, okay, it came down, and I saw it reject off of this level, so I started going long, and I put my stops below this previous low, and I got stopped out again, which was really unfortunate. And between those two trades, I think I lost about 2% of my account, which really took a blow to the account, which was really unfortunate because I was on track to make about 3 or 4% per trade, which would have made me pass phase 1 and put me straight into phase 2, which would have been awesome. But now I'm back, I'm reset, mental is reset, account's still in the profits, we're okay, and we're going to tackle this next week. So what do I think is going to happen here? I'm still bullish on on the US30 until it, or I'm still short overall. Overall, I'm bearish, but from here, now that it's come down, it's touched this point, I think we'll see the dollar start to drop, start to lose some value, which will push the value all the way up to 33,300. And potentially it may stop at these highs, because these highs may be an area that we may need to watch. Actually, let's see if we can identify something we could take a look at here. So actually, something like right here. Well, no, because this wick has really broken that. So we'll just take a look when it comes to these highs right here. This high right here at 32,700, and just kind of see what happens from here. But overall, I am bearish on this market. I am bearish on stocks in general. So all these companies I do think will not be going positive year over year come December. So I do want to start taking long-term shorts to try to go back down and touch the previous highs before COVID, somewhere around like the 29,500, and to keep pushing even past that, potentially down into where COVID hit, which was this big spike right here. Anywhere in this zone, it's a huge drop, I know, but I do believe we're going to break through the previous highs that were tested or made before COVID, and I believe we're going to go test somewhere in the range below there, which is a huge range. I haven't really set true profit targets on it, but if I had to just throw a rough estimate, somewhere like right here, 22,500, or potentially even like 25,200, both great targets to aim for. Especially this 25,200, I think that is a very strong target. So that's kind of my overall view of both gold and US30. Now I'm going to go over euro. I didn't go over euro last time, but I did keep an eye on euro. And what I mainly noticed was it's in a downtrend. It broke up here above the downtrend, and I kind of thought, well, I'm not convinced. I'm not fully convinced this is going long. And so I waited, and as I waited throughout the week, I was absolutely correct. It would reversed, came down to the trend line. I was like, this is where the market makers are going to fake out most of your breakout traders. People who have the same trend line, who are thinking, oh, it's just a retest, and then it's going to shoot back up and test these highs. I was like, no, this is where they kind of get you. So I waited, and I was right. They came, they faked out all these people, even tested this low. If you'd put it below the wick, you were okay, but if you had put it below the actual close of the body of the candle, you actually got stopped out in this little consolidation zone right here. If you were a G and you had identified this level right here, you would have been okay, but you would have to have some really good hindsight. So commend you if you were able to take these longs here and get in at the bottom. Very hard to see. But now it lines up with what I'm believing. So dollar going down, broke previous highs. I want to see it retest a little bit and then kind of go test these previous highs that it had just made at a dollar flat. And I want to see the dollar lose value and potentially have the euro come and test this right here. Not all the way up there, just to the close of the candle, something like that, and have it come and test this area right here. I think that area is a high potential to be tested, especially with it being in an uptrend, if the dollar continues to lose value. We will have to wait and see at the previous highs to see if it throws up a rejection or what it wants to do, if we have enough buyers present to push past that, enough bulls to push past all the sellers or shorters. Yeah, so that's really what I'm waiting for on the euro, gold, and the US30. I don't think I'm gonna trade anything else. Nothing else really looks too interesting to me. I mean, you may be able to short the EURUSD. Let's see what's happening with the USDJPY here. Because USDJPY has just been on an absolute tear for bulls. Absolutely wild lately. It has a slight downtrend. If the dollar loses value, it lines up with this. Plus, the Bank of Japan has been talking about interfering in the markets. That's what this big candle here was. The Bank of Japan actually interfered in the markets and had a huge spike in yen, and you can see it on all the charts for yen. There's just this big candle going down. I think, what is it here? And that's because the Bank of Japan interfered and really strengthened up their currency. For temporary, obviously it just retraced, but they did interfere and cause it to come down for a massive amount on USDJPY, 400 pips, which would have been an insane catch, especially for 4 hours. Just to imagine that trade. But, I still am a little bearish on this, just because I am a little bearish on the dollar. Now, I could be wrong. This is all subject to change come with the news that is coming out, and I believe the news that is coming out, let me see if I can pull that up for y'all. Yeah, so let's see if I can show you guys this real quick. Yeah, there we go. So for the news coming out this week, we have on Tuesday, we have some congressional elections for USD, some AUD news, kind of early in the morning. Monday, nothing too much. We have a FOMC member speaking, but nothing too crazy. Thursday's the big day. This is when CPI gets released, and this is going to be a huge USD day. And then I actually don't know what this is on Friday, but like I said, I'm not a big Friday trader, so I may trade Friday, I may not trade Friday. We're just gonna have to wait and see how the week turns out. I'm hoping to have a really strong, really good week, and really just kind of focus in and get this stuff on lock here, which will be absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's my weekly analysis. So I will catch you guys next week, where I will give you an update of how the week did, and, kind of go over a couple of the trades that I took and why I took them. And I'll also be putting that all into a weekly video now, instead of doing the every trade in one video where I trade for that one day or for that one week. I'll just go over a couple of them that I found were really important and really key. Every trade is important, but just go over some of the ones I found more influential in my trading week and why they were influential in my trading week. And from there, we'll just kind of go over why my analysis was what it was and is what it is for the next week. So I'll be coming at you guys with weekly uploads, and then also make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow me for more content like this. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. All that stuff will be in the description below. Peace.